this is the place. Yes, Tad?
Please excuse the interruption. 8th graders, when you go to the bus, please stop at the cafeteria if you ordered a cold lunch and pick up your bag lunch. Thank you.
Did all the 8th graders in this class get that message? Yes. All right. Problem number one. Problem number one. Problem number one. Eyes on the board. Kids, make sure right now. We want to make sure that we understand how to do this. I have a question. 5x subtract 3. What is that value? What is 5x subtract 3 actually worth? Yeah. Five x subtract 3. Well, okay, I see what you mean. Okay, but just by looking at the equation, if we forget about what the value of the variable is, just in the equation alone, what is 5x subtract 3 really worth? Close. Listen up to this one. Yeah.
Well, 5x, if you don't know what x means, then yeah, it would be in the way that 5x subtract 3 would be y.
I want everybody to understand this right now, that this right here is a fancy way of saying 28. Okay? We need to know that. This is a fancy way. This is 28. Before we even look at this is supposed to be 28. Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah. Because it is an equation, so this is equal to this. You need to know that, and it needs to make sense. Okay? Now, our job for this is it's asking, does x really equal 5? And this ties in directly with 110. So we put 5 into the equation. And we have to follow the order of operations. So this says 5 times our value of x, which is 5. And then we subtract 3. What's 5 times 5? 25. And what is 25 subtract 3? 22 does not, so I go like this, does not equal 28. So does x equal 5? No. Answer is no. Now, I did ask you to show your work. And yesterday I did my favorite no with period 6 on this one. And I would say there's only one kid yesterday that got it wrong. And what they actually did is they tried to solve for x. They told me the actual value of x. And they got it right, which is great. But is that what you're supposed to do on this question? No, so you need to make sure that you understand questions. I will promise you there's going to be one question like this on the test on Thursday. Okay? Then problem number 2. So everybody can hear. If any parents are going to be watching this, they can hear and they're going to know how many questions on number 2 will be on the test on Thursday. 3 questions. That's worth 15% of your grade. You need to know scientific notation. And more importantly, we need to know what does standard form mean. It just means find the regular number. Okay? So if we take this number, and it is scientific notation because this 2 and 43 hundredths is less than 10 and greater than 1, and it is multiplied by an exponent or a power of 10. How many places do I need to move this decimal point? 7 total. Now, if I just write 243, how many places did I move the decimal point? 2. So how many more places do I have to go?
5.
5 more. So what can I do instead of counting over 5? What can I just do? Yeah.
Write 5 zeros.
5 zeros. So here's 1 place. Here's 2 places. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or there's a grand total of 5 zeros. Please sit. So our answer is 24,300,000. Then one last thing. What does 10 to the 7th actually equal? 10 to the 7th power is equal to what? It's 10 what? 10 million. Now, I'm going to ask you a simple question. What is 10 million times 2? You have two groups of 10 million. What do we get? 20 million, right? So just based on that, if you could do this alone, you should know that your answer should be at least 20 million. Is my answer at least 20 million? So that's one way to go back and double check your work. Okay? So if you struggle with that today, you got 1 out of 2 for whatever reason, I'll have this video up, you can go back and double check. Alright? And I'll answer questions in just a little bit.